What's good, EXPs? How you guys doing today? Whew, it's been a crazy, crazy start to the week. We are only 2 days into the week. And for me, I just feel like it's been crazy. I don't know about you, but yeah, we got a lot going on over here. So, first off, as always, if you guys have any questions, um, let me know in the comments, drop them in the comments. And then two, let me know where you guys are checking in from. If you're currently on tour right now, what program you're executing, how is that program or tour treating you? How is the weather out there? I know on the southeast it is hot as balls. So everybody just make sure you guys are staying hydrated. Like you got your hats, you got your neck fans, whatever you need to stay hydrated and to be able to perform at your highest peak. Make sure you communicate that to the tour managers on site, the team leads, and even your account managers and my tour managers, the clients as well. All right, because oftentimes, because they're not the ones actually out there physically executing the event, they may not they may not know what is required for you to be at your best, So definitely make sure you guys are communicating, make sure you're staying hydrated, and make sure that you are taking care of yourself. All right. So your network determines your net worth. And I posed this question and I wanted to talk about this today because earlier today I asked you guys, I put up a poll and I asked you guys, what has been the best resource that you use to obtain opportunities in the industry, whether you are a new brand ambassador, tour manager, team lead, product specialist. Do you feel like the Facebook groups have helped you? Do you feel like having direct access to an account manager or staffing coordinator has been your biggest asset? Building relationships, different platforms that we have on Facebook. What has really helped you to be able to obtain the opportunities consistently as an EXP, an experiential marketing professional? So, overwhelmingly, a lot of you said that the relationships with account or staffing managers, and I definitely would have to agree with that. Beginning and initially, when you first begin in this industry as a brand ambassador, you don't have any relationships, right? You're trying to navigate, okay, what does this industry look like for me? How do I really establish myself as a sought out brand ambassador? How do I obtain opportunities consistently? Who do I need to talk to? Who do I need to network with? And oftentimes it is the people that you network and you build relationships with that determine your net worth, i.e., determine how you're able to progress in the industry. It doesn't work for everybody, right? It's a case by case, EXP by EXP type of basis. But majority of EXPs would have to agree that networking and building relationships is so important. So I'm going to give you guys a couple of tips, right? A couple of things that you can do to make sure that you are building an effective network as an experiential marketing professional. So, tip number one, you guys want to always make sure that you are following up, whether you are working an event for the first time or whether you've built a great relationship with the account or staffing manager, or whether this is your 10th or 11th event that you work for that agency, right? Following up and just sending a simple thank you email or text is so important because it lets that account manager or staffing manager know a couple things. One, that you are appreciative of the fact that they even thought of you, right? And considered you to actually be a part of the opportunity and execute the event. Two, it also shows the importance that what you value as far as the time in which you've executed the event and you actually taking the time to follow up with them. It's the little things, right? And it's the fact that you were even thoughtful enough and considerate enough to even take time post event, right after the event, to send the thank you. So make sure that you follow up, whether you had a great experience or a bad experience. Sometimes I know when you work programs for agencies that you never want to work for again, you don't want to follow up. And I understand that. But if you had an overall great experience, if the agency and the account manager they communicated effectively, they made sure you were taken care of, take a few minutes, right, out of your day to send a thank you email and just let them know that you appreciate the opportunity. Some of y'all will be so quick. If that agency didn't pay you within that net 30, you will take time out of your day to send an email letting them know that you weren't happy or letting them know that you had a bad experience. So put that same energy that you would put towards sending out a negative review or a negative email towards being positive and letting that account manager or staff or coordinator know that you appreciate them. And you'll be surprised that those little things are the things that account managers and coordinators remember when they are looking to book you or book other EXPs for opportunities. They remember those little things. And sometimes those little things are what separate you from being awarded an opportunity from another EXP. So definitely take time to follow up. It's 2 seconds out of your day. And if you guys don't want to take 2 seconds, go ahead and create a pre-filled drafted email that you always use. And you can have a template, a couple different templates that you use to send out to the account manager, staff, and coordinators. But try to make it as personable as you can. All right. Two, you definitely want to leave a good first impression. How can I say this nicely, right? Don't be asking tour managers or team leads to refer you for other opportunities or keep you in mind if you show up late to an activation, if you are unprofessional, if you go to the bathroom for 30 minutes at a time, if you don't take the time to learn, right, and properly convey brand or product information, if you wear the wrong attire, if you just, at the end of the day, you don't practice my 3 Ps. You are not professional, you are not personable, and you are not presentable. If you don't do all three or you miss one of those things, chances are a good tour manager or team lead is going to look at you and say, you know what? This is going to be my first and last time working with them, and they're going to communicate that to the account manager or the staff and coordinator. So always make a good first impression, all right? Especially if you know that this is a industry and you want to work in full time, or this is an agency that you love working with and you want to be considered for consistent opportunities. Your first impression is the one that we remember. And I'm here to tell you guys, as a seasoned tour manager, I remember the EXPs that came early. I remembered the EXPs that took the time to make sure they were back from their breaks on time. I remember the EXPs who were during while they were working, who took the initiative to make sure that they communicated with other EXPs or consumers, right, in a professional way, and that they were willing and able to help where needed during their shift. I appreciate that, and I remember those EXPs, and I always, as a tour manager, will let the account manager or staffing coordinator know, hey, whenever we're back in this market, hire this EXP again. Or if you have any other opportunities, make sure you hire this EXP because they did a great job. So your first impression is what we as tour managers and even team leads remember, especially on site. So it's up to you to make sure that you leave a good first impression, especially if you know that you're going to be asking that tour manager, hey, how did you move up in this industry? Do you know of any opportunities or any other events that I can be a part of? If you're going to be asking that, then you got to make sure your first impression is one which speaks to that manager's willingness to be able to divulge that information to you, right? And not just be like, yeah, I'll reach out to you, I'll let you know. That's code for saying, hey, you're not gonna hear from me again. All right. So make sure you leave a good first impression. And lastly, make sure you have experience. Make sure you have the experience. So when you are looking to build your network, right, as an experiential marketing professional, you got to make sure that the opportunities in which you are looking to apply for and the ones that you're looking to obtain, that your experience and your resume speaks to that. It's one thing to be applying for a tour manager opportunity and you've only been working as a BA for the last 2 weeks. All right. It has to be in alignment. You have to have experience that correlates with the position that you're looking to obtain. And then also when you're networking with other EXPs, right? You're looking to build your net worth. You also have to ask yourself, am I building a network, or am I networking with the right EXPs who have the experience that I'm looking to obtain? All right. So prime example, I'm not gonna go talk to a brand, to another EXP who doesn't have experience in managing tours full time, right? Because they're not going to be able to help me get to where I am looking to go, i.e. tour manager opportunities. I'm going to go talk to other EXPs who have extensive experience managing tours and who understand what is required at every position or every level as a tour manager to be able to maintain tours consistently. Those are the people that you want to make sure that you gravitate towards and you build relationships with, because oftentimes they are being awarded tour opportunities, or they have account managers or staff coordinators reaching out to them, checking their availability to execute a tour. And if they've already committed to a tour, then they, especially great tour managers who understand the industry, they will have no problem referring quality people who represent and embody everything that they would bring to a program. So you got to make sure that what who you are trying to align with speaks to the opportunities that you're looking to obtain. That's one. And that two, that your experience is one in which they would see as an asset. So and when they are not able to execute certain programs, they know that you would be the best person, or you would be top of mind in one that they would consider referring to the agency because of your experience. So make sure that when you are building your network, right, that you understand that the people that you have around you, the EXPs, the tour managers, the product specialists that you have around you, they could be your biggest asset or your biggest hindrance. I'm gonna say it again. The EXPs that you have around you can be your biggest asset or your biggest hindrance. So make sure that when you are building out your network as an experiential marketing professional and you're executing events, that you have EXPs around you that are not going to hinder you, right? They are cool with being a brand ambassador. They don't want to move up into other positions within the industry. If that is not you, if that is not your goal, you don't need to be aligning with a lot of EXPs, because you're going to stay only getting brand ambassador opportunities. In order to get the opportunities that you desire, you got to make sure that you are around like-minded people. So ask tour managers when you're executing events, how long have you been a tour manager? How many tours have you executed? What are some things you've learned as a tour manager? What are some of the agencies that I should, be looking to obtain tour opportunities with when I am ready, when I have the necessary experience? But let your actions when you're executing the event show that you are capable of being considered for those management opportunities if obtaining a tour management opportunity is what you desire. Now, on the brand ambassador level, if you are looking to network with other EXPs and build a network, because that is important too, because you guys can work together to put each other on different programs, so that that account manager or staffing coordinator doesn't have to look in their database. You can say, hey, my friend is available, or he or she is available. They can execute this program with me, right? But you got to make sure that that person, again, is one that is always on time, that they're personable, that they're presentable, that they value the network and the connection that you have. And more importantly, that they are going to reciprocate, i.e., when you pass the opportunity along to them, they don't have a problem passing an opportunity back to you, right? It's all about being able to network with the right people who are not jealous, who are not envious, and have your best interests. So as you continue to navigate through this experiential marketing industry, guys, you got to understand that your network can, will determine your net worth. Not all the time, but I'm going to say 90% of the time, building that network is so important. And from what I see here in the group, you guys answered that overwhelmingly. That was the majority, that relationships with accounts or staffing managers is so important. And not only just account or staffing managers, but relationships with other EXPs who are qualified and have the experience is so important. So make sure you guys are, you're keeping all this in mind when you're looking to build out your network, when you're looking to advance within the experiential marketing industry, and make sure that you are using the best resources, i.e., agency owners, account managers, to your advantage. All right. I think that's all I got for y'all today. But thank you guys for tuning in. Remember, you are a brand within a brand. Represent yourself accordingly. Make sure that you are building meaningful relationships that are going to foster the opportunities that you want as an EXP. All right. This is Jay, your EXP coach, checking in with you guys later. Be safe and stay hydrated.